What's good, YouTube? It's your player partner, Black Assassin, and we back with another video. Today's video is gonna be about expectations. Yeah, but before we get into that, today we are smoking a nice peach wood chip with, oil, if you will. So yeah, let's get right into it and let's go. This is a peach wood chip. Let that sit for a second. But yeah, I think today we just gonna talk about expectations and how expectations can be good but also ruin the final product. Right? But in the meantime, while we smoke the drink, let's get the Zobs lit. All right, back to it. Like I was saying, today's video is gonna be about expectations. All right, so this has a very nice peach flavor. You can definitely taste it on the front end and the back end, which is really good. So this, I don't know, this one, I think the apple was a little bit stronger, but the peach is like right next to it. Not to be confused with the pear. The pear was non-existent, if you will. All right, let's get into these expectations. I feel like expectations are good and bad, right? Because sometimes when you go based off of the expectation, sometimes you can end up disappointing yourself because you yourself have worked something up in your head, and once you go experience it, it's not really the same, you know? Yeah, it kind of has like a little bit of a sweet taste to it, but not like overpowering sweet. Also, you guys are like, oh man, is that the Gaming is Life sweatshirt? Yes, it is. If you want to get fly like your boy, make sure you go follow the Assassin_world merch page on the IG. You know, stay hip with all the latest Assassin wear. Bang bang, right? But I think the expectations, like everybody expects you to do good, no matter what it is, right? But I think sometimes people get crushed by the weight of the expectation to do good. Like, because they feel like if they don't do good, they're letting down so many people, right? But then you got the people like me who don't really go into things with expectations. More so, it's like we're just here, Like I don't expect to have a good time, but I'm going to have a good time just because of the environment and stuff like that, right? Whew, man. But yeah, this is another installment of Whiskey Wednesdays. I'm your host, Black Motherfucking Season. Like I said, the expectations of some people rise to the expectations. Other people definitely get crushed by the weight of the expectation. It really it really all just depends on a person. But I feel like this is a little bit of a hard subject because it's like, what are the expectations of this? What are the expectations of that? So with that being said, I think we're gonna run it back, shall we? Let's do it. All right. Welcome, people, to another installment of Press A to Jump podcast. This is the weekly episodic show, Whiskey Wednesdays, and I'm your host, Black Motherfucking Assassin. Today we're gonna be talking about Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Advance SP. I think if we're gonna talk about the Game Boy, we might as well, mention how. Hell, to be honest, I don't think handheld gaming will be where it is if it wasn't for the success of the Game Boy Color, right? And we touched on this a little bit in one of the earlier episodes about how I feel like Game Boy Color had the best gaming era. And because obviously we all know my feelings towards PlayStation and how that had the best video game lineup, right? But I feel like Game Boy Color had the best era, right? Because you talking about the reason why battery places was able to stay open so late. Because Game Boy, man, and then there were so many attachments for the Game Boy. Like I said, you got the connector cord, so you could play against your homies and Pokemon and shit. And then they went from the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy. Was it the Game Boy Advance? It was the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance, basically. So the Game Boy Color was a long, not really long, but a taller console, handheld, and then the Game Boy Advance was the rectangular joint, but then, which that one was pretty fun as well. But then you got into the flip phones of the Game Boy, which is the Game Boy Advance SP. Now that thing was something in its own self, right? But yeah, I think just in general, the Game Boy lineup was a pretty good, like the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP. I think those are pretty much some of the best handhelds out there. I mean, that's debatable because some people would probably go with like the PSP, Nintendo 3DS, or Nintendo this or whatever, but I think the Game Boy. Come here. Hey. I think the Game Boy itself was pretty good. What's up, buddy? Alright. You good? Can I get back to my video? Huh? Alright. Cool. Good job. Alright. So yeah, I don't know. What are some of you guys' favorite handhelds? Like I said, don't get me wrong, the PSP was fire. I definitely enjoyed playing. What was it? Assassin's Creed Chronicles, and then other PSP titles. But I feel like if you had a Game Boy Color and you didn't have Pokemon, could you even say that you really gamed? Probably not. But I don't know. This video is kind of all over the place. Your boy is kind of messed up. I've been drinking all day, so no excuse. But we having a good time. Let's smoke another drink. Yeah, my whiskey's almost gone. You like my decanter? It's fire, right? I know. Never shit. Oh, shit. Damn, it ran out. Hopefully I got enough. But I think no matter what happens, you shouldn't be bound by the expectations. I think as long as you continue to, live life to the best of your abilities, I think everything will work out for you. The expectations will be there, but what do you expect for yourself? You gotta realize that it's your life, so you gotta live it. We didn't get too much of the smoke, but it's alright. Cheers. Also, guys, please drink responsibly. This is not by any way, shape, or form a paid ad. I went out, bought all this stuff with my own money, and decided to make videos of me using it. So, we here. That's liquor. Oh, yeah, that's liquor. But yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, expectations. I don't know. Do you ever feel like you're beating yourself up because you're not living up towards somebody else's expectations? If so, why? Why do you do that to yourself? Like, the world already causes so much stuff upon us. Why put that on you? You know. But this has been I definitely smoked my whiskey and my smoke, but today's episode kind of just rambling. So one of these days we'll get everything together. Maybe. Probably not. Like I said, I started this because I just wanted to talk my shit, smoke my drink, and smokes my smoke. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys for being here. As always, my name is Black Season, Black Assassin. Y'all be sure to stay tuned. Whiskey Wednesdays. What are we gonna do with it? We just gonna chill, hang out, and we're gonna smoke our drink, and we're gonna smoke our smoke. No matter what, something will be getting smoked on Whiskey Wednesdays. Y'all stay tuned. We got some stuff coming down the line.